At 35, life hit Rosemary harder than she ever imagined. After 7 painful years of marriage and countless failed attempts to conceive, her husband left. No warning, no final conversation, just a simple note on the kitchen table. "I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry." That was it. No goodbye, no closure, just silence where love used to live. For days she read that note again and again, hoping the words would somehow change. They didn't, and neither did the crushing loneliness that settled in afterward. Heartbreak, shame, and the weight of shattered dreams consumed her. More than anything, Rosemary had wanted to be a mother, but now she was divorced, childless, and left questioning her worth. Who am I without him, without a family, without the future I dreamed of? But Rosemary wasn't the kind of woman to stay down for long. One afternoon, while volunteering at a local child welfare center, she met 5 boys who would change everything. 5 brothers, all under 10. Dressed in mismatched clothes, their eyes held the kind of sorrow only rejection can plant. Their parents had died in a house fire. With no relatives willing to take on 5 children at once, they were labeled by social workers as a package deal no one wanted. But when Rosemary looked at them, she didn't see a burden. She saw herself, pain, loss, loneliness, and untapped love waiting to be given. That night she couldn't sleep. Their faces haunted her. Their silence echoed her own. The dream of motherhood she thought life had stolen suddenly stirred back to life, but in a form she never expected. She didn't have much, a modest income, a small 2-bedroom house, and no partner to share the load. But she had love. More than enough for 5 boys, and so one by one she brought them home. First came Henry, the eldest, quiet, watchful, fiercely protective. Then Kenneth, the thinker, always observing, always planning. Next, the twins, Joshua and Joseph, inseparable bundles of mischief and charm. And finally, little Divine, the baby of the family, just 5 years old, with soft cheeks and a voice that melted hearts. Those early years were pure chaos. Money was tight, school fees piled up, some nights there wasn't enough food, and sleep became a rare luxury. There were tantrums, slammed doors, scraped knees, and emotional storms. But through all the noise and mess, something beautiful grew. They danced barefoot in the rain, sang gospel songs together on Sunday afternoons, shared steaming plates of jollof rice while telling each other stories. Rosemary taught them to tie their ties, to say sorry, to cook, and, above all, to love. She wasn't perfect. There were nights she sat alone in the bathroom, crying quietly, overwhelmed and scared. But she never gave up. Every bedtime story, every hug, every scolding came from a place of unconditional love. And slowly, the boys began to thrive. Henry earned a university scholarship, becoming a respected engineer known for his calm leadership. Kenneth launched a tech blog that went viral, making a name for himself in the online world. The twins started a fashion line that took off, dressing celebrities and politicians alike. And Divine, the little one with the golden voice, rose to fame as a singer, touching hearts across the nation with his songs of hope and healing. As the years flew by, the boys moved out. Some traveled abroad for work and studies. Yet, no matter how far life took them, they always came back home, to her. Rosemary's tiny house remained their anchor, a place of memories, warmth, and laughter. She never asked for anything. To her, seeing them happy was enough reward. But deep down, there was one small dream she kept hidden. After 30 years in that same little house, with its leaky roof, creaky floors, and fading paint, she sometimes wished for a place a little more comfortable. Yet, she never complained. Then came her 60th birthday. That morning, she woke to the smell of fresh bread and coffee. All 5 of her boys had come home. They filled the house with jokes, laughter, and playful arguments like they were still kids. As she sat outside on her worn wooden bench, soaking it all in, Henry approached her with something wrapped in white cloth. "Mama," he said softly, "we have something for you." Confused, she opened the cloth to reveal a large silver key tied to a ribbon. Before she could speak, Kenneth gestured toward the gate, where a van sat waiting. Inside were photographs of a beautiful new house, spacious, modern, bright, with wide windows and a garden full of roses, her favorite flower. "We built it together," Divine whispered, kneeling beside her. "For you, for us, for family." Tears streamed down her cheeks. Her heart felt like it would burst. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every tear, every prayer, it had all led to this moment. I don't know what to say," she stammered. Henry smiled. "You don't have to say anything, Mama. Just know we remember every single thing." They helped her into the van. As they drove away from the home that had carried decades of memories, she looked back one last time, not with sadness but with deep gratitude. Her new home was more than just walls and a roof. It was built with love, with their hands and their hearts. Weeks later, another surprise came. As the sun set one evening, Henry sat with her on the new porch. "Mama, we've been talking," he began. "We want to make sure you're always okay." Kenneth appeared with a thick folder. Inside, official documents for a trust fund in her name, contributed by all 5 sons, enough to cover her medical needs, travels, and even to start a small business if she ever wanted. "You did this. For me," she whispered. "For everything you did for us," Henry said simply. Her tears this time were not from pain or even joy, but from fulfillment, peace, completion. And just when she thought life couldn't surprise her again, it did. Months later, all 5 boys decided to get married, but not separately, together. One grand wedding, 5 grooms, 5 brides, one extraordinary day. The event made headlines. People came from far and wide to witness the spectacle, but the most important seat, the front row, was reserved for one woman only, Rosemary. Dressed in royal blue, she sat with pride bursting from her chest. Before the ceremony even began, the master of ceremonies took the mic and said, "Before we celebrate these 5 men, let's first honor the queen who raised them." The crowd rose to their feet. Applause thundered. For the first time in her life, Rosemary heard strangers call her a queen. Her story soon spread. News outlets picked it up. Organizations wanted to meet her. A publisher offered her a book deal. But for Rosemary, the greatest reward was never the fame. It was the laughter of her grandchildren, the Sunday family lunches, and the knowledge that she had built something far greater than she ever dreamed. Her grandchildren now call her Mama Rose. Neighbors call her Mother of Kings. And Rosemary, she just calls herself grateful. She didn't get the life she once prayed for. She got something far greater. She didn't just adopt 5 boys, she raised 5 kings. Final moral: life won't always give you what you want. But if you're brave enough to love when it's hardest and strong enough to stay when it's uncomfortable, life just might give you something even better. If this story touched your heart, don't let it stop here. Like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe for more real-life stories that inspire and uplift. And remember, sometimes the greatest love stories come from the most unexpected places. Thank you for watching.